Welcome back. This is part 2 of the series on how to discover your purpose or your mission in life. And in today's video, we're really going to talk about, number one, the importance of cultivating self-belief in discovering your mission and your purpose. And 2, how. I'm going to give you a process for you to actually start to develop that level of self-belief that is going to be enabling for you to start to actually cultivate and experience what that gift is that you're getting ready to share with the world. So again, if you haven't watched the first video in the series, go back and watch that video. You'll see it in the playlist on this channel. What we're talking about here is this idea that I remember reading from one of my very early training manuals. And this is the idea that, as the ancients used to say, each of us is born with some unique medicine for the healing or for the growth of our planet. And what I want for you watching this is that you start to cultivate within yourself that sense of passion, that sense of mission, that sense of purpose that ties together all of your interests, desires, your passions to create a life that's ultimately fulfilling for you, that cultivates high performance, that creates a deep, meaningful way of moving through the world so that you experience really what the best is of what life can offer for you. And so in this video series, we're going to give you a series of processes to do just that. And in today's series, we're working particularly on the importance of self-belief. And even more specific than self-belief, we want to build within yourself the belief that you are an excellent learner. Now, whether or not you believe that to be true currently, you're going to start to believe it shortly. Because it's not so much about building the belief as much as realizing the truth. And when we talk about realizing the truth that you are an excellent learner, I want you to understand that if you were intelligent enough to click on this video, if you can navigate a YouTube, if you can navigate a computer, and you're able to find your way to different videos like this one, you have within you enough core innate intelligence to learn absolutely any skill that you need to be able to pursue your passion or purpose. And that's important because it's gonna, once you do cultivate that sense of passion and that purpose, it will require you to continually learn, to continually grow. So what I want to do today while you're watching this, and it might be useful for you to close your eyes while we do this exercise. It might be useful for you to return to this exercise again and again until you start to recognize this truth. Not just as something that you know is true, but something that you begin to feel deep within you as the way it is. In the same way that there are certain things that are just true, right? Like you are watching this video. You know that the classic NLP one is that the sun is going to come up tomorrow. And in the same way that you know these things to be true, soon you're going to start to realize, as a result of doing this process, that you are an incredible learner. So let's dive right into it. Go ahead and close your eyes now and allow yourself to begin to go inside. And just take 1 or 2 really relaxing, deep breaths. And as a matter of fact, I'll do them with you. So take a big, deep breath in now with me. Big, deep breath in. Hold it at the top. And then on your exhale, I just want you to begin just to let go and relax. And I want you to imagine that you could begin to go back in time. That if you could begin to float out of the present moment and look back into your past, that you could begin to travel up above your life. And you could go all the way back to a very pleasant experience when you were young, a time when you learned something that you enjoyed. Now, it doesn't have to be something in school. It can be something that you enjoyed learning to do. It could be something that you enjoyed playing a game. It could be enjoying learning to ride a bike. It could be learning to speak. It could be even just learning to giggle. All the things that we take for granted from the moment you were very young, your nervous system was just soaking up information. And the neurons in your mind began to myelinate new neural pathways so that you could observe the world. And when you were very, very young, you have this unique advantage of that you were able to learn from a beginner's mind. You were able to learn from that place of not having judgments, of being able just to absorb learnings deeply and easily. And so what I want you to do is I want you to recognize that that ability is still within you. In just the same way that you learn to walk naturally, easily, and automatically. In the same way that you learn to read and write the letters of the alphabet. In the same way that you learn to speak, and you didn't know then that all these learnings that happening were going to lead to the ability to do all kinds of wonderful things. But what you can start to recognize now is that your unconscious mind is a learning machine. That the human nervous system is designed to learn new patterns of thinking, new patterns and new ways of being. In fact, all of the problems that you have, you learn to have them. All of your fears and your doubts and your insecurities, you learned to have those by patterning. And so too can you now begin to unlearn those things that used to bother you. But today, here now with me, what we're really focusing on is this ability for you to remind yourself that you are an excellent learner, an incredible learner, that it's what your mind and body are designed to do. And to refresh this realization inside your mind again and again at the right times and places, so that in the future, before you could doubt yourself, suddenly you'll remember that you are an incredible learner. And that realization will allow you to take new actions, to learn new things, to begin to learn to discover your purpose and your mission. And once you're on your purpose and your mission, to learn any skill, ability, quality, way of being that will assist you in cultivating that mission in the world. So now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to begin to come back to the present moment, bringing with you this realization that you have the ability to learn with a beginner's mind, that you have the ability to take all your preconceived notions and put them aside, your beliefs about what was possible, your attitudes, and you can just put those off to the side long enough for you to learn from that place of beginner's mind where you're able to absorb things quickly, easily, and allowing your unconscious to begin to do these things automatically, so that you might find yourself engaging in new behaviors automatically, and then having the conscious realization later on that, oh my God, I'm doing it. And so what I'd like you to do is I'd like you just in your mind's eye to begin to picture an image of yourself as this incredible learner that you are, so that you can start to see yourself that way. Now, I don't know what this will look like, but I do want you to imagine it vividly and clearly. It's almost like you're standing in the mirror and you can see this you who is that incredible learner. Notice how they're standing and how they're breathing. Notice the look on their face and the look inside their eyes that allows you to know that this you recognizes your natural ability to learn quickly, easily, and automatically. So in a moment, you're going to take this image and you're going to begin to put it in times and places where you are going to start recognizing this inherent ability to learn naturally and easily. Now I want you to imagine that you can take that image of you where you can really begin to picture yourself as an exquisite learner. And just as a way of picturing this, I want you to imagine that you could be surrounded by an energetic field, like a ball of light or an energy. You may want to give it a specific color, and that you may also notice that the brighter that energy, that color, the more strongly you can begin to feel this energy, this new belief or realization forming even more deeply, more powerfully in you. And then I want you just to take that image of you being that excellent learner surrounded in this energy, and I want you to allow it to begin to compress and get smaller so that it shrinks down. And as it does, the energy, the learnings, the states, the belief all become packaged inside a ball of energy that is that color. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take this ball of energy containing within it that desired image of you as an excellent learner. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you now to think of a time in your life where you can use this resource. So it can be a time in the past, it could be in the present. In other words, it could be you wanting now to believe more fully that you can learn what your purpose is, that you can learn to do anything that you need to achieve your purpose. Or it could be a time in the future where you're going to want to learn more powerfully. Just pick any time where this belief in yourself as an incredible learner can resource you powerfully. And as you do that, now, I want you to travel into that moment, seeing vividly, in detail, the environment through your eyes, hearing what you'll hear in that environment or did hear, and feel what it feels like. And only now I want you to take that ball of you as an exquisite learner and put it right in the center of that image. And allow that ball now suddenly to begin to expand and grow to the point where you see yourself as that exquisite learner. And feel the feelings attached to it. See yourself knowing that you can learn to do this easily and effortlessly. Feel what that feels like. And you may even begin to imagine what you'll be doing differently, or what you would have done differently in that situation if you had realized at the time, or you're realizing now, that you are this exquisite learner. And just enjoy that experience deeply. Now, my invitation to you is to repeat this exercise again and again. So imagine different situations where you want this skill and this ability to recognize that you are an excellent learner, and just be in that moment, and then suddenly allow yourself to see that image of you fully and completely of you as an excellent learner. See yourself that way, feel the resources of that, noticing how that changes how you think, feel, what you do in that situation, and allow yourself to do this until it starts to become automatic for you. So think of different times and places, repeat this exercise again and again and again until it becomes natural and automatic. And so as you start to come back to the room now, remembering that the invitation here is for you to take these learnings deeper. For those of you who know what we're doing, this is called a swish pattern. And if you'd like more experience with how to do the swish pattern, I have an entire video series on how to do the swish. But essentially, you're going to take that desired image of you as an excellent learner, and you're going to go through and put it in times and places where you want those resources, and allow that desired image to grow out fully and see it completely changing the way you were or the way you will be in that situation in the future. Now, if you do watch the series on the swish, what you'll learn is you want to put a break state in between each repetition, and that the more that you do this, it should take between 3 to 5 repetitions per incident, and at max 20, absolute maximum. I don't think I've ever needed to do it more than 10 times, but I just do it until it becomes automatic. So as soon as you think about the time where you doubted your ability to learn, suddenly you see this image of you automatically, and you feel like you can learn. Once that is automatic, now you're ready to move on to the next exercise, okay? And stay tuned, because we're going even deeper now into this series on how to cultivate your sense of interests and passions, and how these all will begin to tie into a grand vision of the most fulfilling life for you. It's aligned with your values, your interests, your desires, and then how you can start to take that and really cultivate the way of life you want to have. See you in the next video.